Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Forex with a free US dollar index Elliott Wave analysis for you after the New York trading session dated Monday 10th of January has finished. I'm just going to jump straight into my daily chart today. If you want to look at the historical analysis picture, have a look at my last video. I'm expecting that the dollar is within a third wave at intermediate degree, and this is all within a primary third wave, within a cycle degree wave C to the upside. Within primary 3, we've had black 1 off to the left of the chart, a zigzag down for black 2, and we're working on black or intermediate wave 3 to the upside. So far, I expect we have an end to minor 1, a double zigzag for minor 2, and this wave count is expecting that the dollar is within a third wave at minor degree, within a third wave at intermediate degree, within a third wave at primary degree, within a C wave. So we should be expecting some pretty strong upwards movement. In the last few days, that's pretty much what we should be expecting. Wave 3 blue at minor degree has a target at 88.18 for this wave count, where it is 1.618 the length of 1. Wave 3 black, which should be achieved in a few months, has a target at 99.16, where it will be 1.618 the length of 1 black, and it will be confirmed that we have wave 3 black underway, and a couple of my alternates on the weekly chart level will be invalidated. Therefore, this one will be confirmed with price movement above 88.708. So taking you now to an hourly chart, we were going to have a look at this most recent upwards movement, and as soon as we have a confirmation of 3 blue being underway, when it moves beyond the end of wave 1, I will then move the invalidation point down from here up to the start of wave 3 blue. At this stage, we may expect that there is a very, very, very slim outlying possibility that wave 2 blue could be extending as a triple combination further sideways, and therefore may extend down to the start of wave 1, but that would be extremely unlikely. We should be expecting upwards movement from the dollar. Taking you now to the hourly chart, where this 2 blue down here is this point down here, and this is wave 3 at blue or minor degree with a 1, 2, quite a long 3, 4, 5 to the upside. This is around about where last analysis ended. We were expecting a little bit more upwards movement to end this structure before we saw a correction at a larger degree, and that's what we got, but upwards movement has fallen 0.132 short of my target, and now wave 5 orange is 0.132 short of equality with wave 1 orange. So they're fairly close to equal. Wave 3 orange in its entirety is just 0.226 longer than 2.618 the length of wave 1, and considering its length, that's a reasonable Fibonacci ratio. We've got a pretty good clean break of this trend channel. This trend channel here is drawn using Elliott's technique from 2 to 4. The trend line's first drawn and then a parallel copy placed on the high of 1. Fifth waves often come to end midway in the channel. This one's quite towards the downside. But the trend channel can also tell us when the trend has changed, and at this stage we've got an obvious breach of the trend channel to the downside, telling us the upwards trend, at least for the very short term, is over and we're in a little correction to the downside. This downwards movement on a 15-minute chart is somewhat ambiguous. Overall, it could have a fairly decent 3-wave look, but on a 15-minute chart it has an impulsive count of 9, so I've labelled it an A wave. This sideways movement here, now trending slightly upwards, has a fairly hesitant look. I would probably label this a B wave, so I expect that wave 2 green to correct this long first wave here is not yet over, and I would expect a little bit more downwards movement for it. In the first instance, we may use the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree as a likely target at 80.051, because this is a third wave at minor degree. Within a third wave at intermediate degree, we may expect corrections to be shallower and briefer than normal. If, however, price moves below this first target, then we may use the next target, the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio of wave 1 green at 80.343, because, as I said, corrections should be shallower and briefer than normal. Thereafter, when we can see a satisfactory 3-wave structure, it looks like it's going to unfold as a 3 for wave 2 green to the downside. We should then expect a third wave at green degree, within this first wave at pink degree, within wave 3 blue towards the upside. We should expect some very strong upwards movement from the dollar. The invalidation point at this stage has to sit down at 78.775 technically. Wave 2 green can correct right down to the start of Wave 1 green, although in reality I wouldn't expect price to get very near that point at all. Overall, we should be expecting upwards movement from the dollar for the rest of this week after this little correction is over. It should be brief, it should be shallow. A little bit of choppy overlapping movement for another session or so, and then we should see a resumption of some very, very strong upwards movement from the dollar. That's all from me with your US dollar index analysis. I hope this helps you in your trading.